All right, let's talk about AI. For a while now, we've gotten really good at talking to our AI, but we're on the edge of something new, a huge leap forward, AI that actually acts. Today, we're going to look at what happens when you pit a familiar powerhouse like ChatGPT against a totally new kind of tool, an AI agent called Manus. This is going to change how you think about getting things done.
I mean, really think about that for a second. We're all used to AI as this incredible collaborator, right? It helps us brainstorm, it helps us write, it polishes our ideas. But what if you could just give it a goal and it would handle the whole shebang, from the initial research all the way to the finished product? That's the jump we're talking about, from simply replying to actually acting. And this right here is the core difference. ChatGPT is an absolutely phenomenal assistant. It's your go-to for conversation, for generating ideas, for writing text. Manus, though, well, it's built from the ground up to be an executor. It's an autonomous agent that doesn't just give you suggestions, it actually does the work. So, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get into what an AI agent like Manus even is. Then, we'll throw them both into the ring for a head-to-head comparison on some real-world tasks. After that, we'll figure out how you can choose the right tool for the right job. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at what this whole shift towards autonomous AI really means for the future.
Okay, first things first, let's really dig into what makes an AI agent like Manus a whole different beast compared to the chatbots we use every day. So, an autonomous AI agent, it doesn't just sit there waiting for your next prompt. Nope. You give it a big picture goal, and it goes off and figures out the steps, plans the attack, and executes the entire thing on its own. It's less of a back-and-forth partner and way more of a digital project manager that you can just delegate to. And check this out. Manus literally works like a tiny virtual team in a box. You give it a complex goal, and it smashes it into smaller, bite-sized tasks. Then it assigns those tasks to different specialized agents, and they actually go out and use real tools, like a web browser or a code editor, to get the job done before packaging it all up into a finished product for you. This is where you can really see its power. It's not just talking, it's doing. It can call on tools like browsers and APIs, and it's smart about it too. It has multimodal flexibility, which means it picks the best AI model for each specific part of the job. It can even spin up over 100 agents at the same time to do massive amounts of research, and then it delivers it all to you in a structured way, like a report or even a website. All right, so the theory sounds impressive for sure, but how do these tools actually perform when the rubber meets the road? Let's put them to the test with a couple of tasks you probably do all the time.
First up, a creative writing challenge. Pretty straightforward. We asked both AIs to whip up a short, engaging intro for a tech blog. What we're looking for here is that natural, fluid, human-sounding tone. And in this round, the winner was, well, pretty obvious. ChatGPT absolutely nailed it. The output was so convincingly human, it was smooth, it was well-structured, and it didn't have any of those stiff, robotic phrases that just scream, AI wrote this. It just mastered that conversational feel.
So the takeaway is clear. When your goal is creative writing and you really need that human touch, that nuance, ChatGPT's raw power as a pure language model gives it a serious edge, hands down. Okay, let's level up. For our next challenge, we asked them to create a 5-slide presentation. Now, this is way more than just writing good text, right? It needs structure, organization, and a final product you can actually use. And boom, this is where the difference between an assistant and an executor becomes crystal clear. ChatGPT gave us a fantastic outline, all the right ingredients, but Manus delivered the whole meal, a complete, ready-to-use presentation with the content, the formatting, even the design. It didn't just give us the recipe, it baked the cake. So yeah, when the goal is a finished, structured product from end to end, Manus has a huge advantage. Its ability to just do the whole process saves you all that tedious manual work of putting everything together. So what do you do with this information? Look, this isn't really about which AI is better. It's about knowing you have different tools in your toolbox and picking the right one for the job. Understanding their unique strengths is how you're going to get a massive boost in productivity. Just think of it like this. ChatGPT is your creative partner. It's your go-to for brainstorming, getting a first draft down, and writing anything that needs to sound like a real person wrote it. But for a project where you need to go from a simple idea to a complex, finished, formatted thing, like a detailed research report with citations or a polished slide deck, well, that's a job for an executor like Manus. So let's zoom out for a second. What does this shift from conversational AI to autonomous AI really mean? Because this is more than just a cool new feature. It's a sign of a fundamental change in how we're all going to work.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. The real innovation here is that the line between being an assistant and an executor is getting super blurry. We're moving from tools that help us think to tools that actually help us do. The whole point is to turn a single request into a totally completed task, cutting out all those boring manual steps in between.
And if you're wondering if this is a big deal, well, just follow the money. Meta's acquisition of Manus is reportedly worth somewhere between $2 and $3 billion. That is a massive bet from one of the biggest tech giants on the planet, and it's a huge signal that autonomous agents are the next major frontier in AI.
Which leaves us with one final and I think really important question. As our AI tools get better and better at not just replying to us, but acting for us, how is that going to change the way we work? This isn't just about doing things faster. It's about fundamentally shifting our own roles, freeing us up from the execution so we can focus more on strategy, on creativity, and on the big picture thinking. Now that is a future worth getting excited about.